Welcome to the Pancake King, Life and Marriage on the Spectrum. I'm your host, Forrest, and this is your source for all things autism and marriage on the autism spectrum. After I was diagnosed on the autism spectrum and I got the report in the mail, something pretty significant happened right after that. If you've been diagnosed before, then you know what I'm talking about, and if you haven't been diagnosed and are going to, you already know what will happen. I exploded. I'm kidding. Absolutely nothing. The report was 15 pages long, and I was diagnosed with high-functioning autism. Now, I don't know about you, but I know a few people who were diagnosed back when their reports were 1 to 2 pages, and they earned the prestigious title of Asperger's and a Happy Meal. BTW, you've got autism, but it's all good, you'll be fine, broski, their reports would say, with fewer words than a high school student's essay about the telltale heart. Meanwhile, my report went on for 15 pages, with enough edginess to give Evanescence a run for their money. You've got autism, but also, you got some anxiety. Oh, and some delicious depression on the side with a tall glass of PTSD from a traumatic event that never happened. Let's eat! I read that report over and over again when I got it. I was obsessed with it, hyperfixated on it, if you will. Each time I read it, I felt more and more sorry for myself. I was panicking on the inside. I kept thinking, oh God, am I gonna die? My feelings towards it, the way I despaired over it, would have offended Walter White.
You're right.
You know, it didn't occur to me then, but now that I think about it, I shouldn't have felt so sorry for myself. I should have felt more sorry for the poor guy who had to type that Silmarillion. He's like the high school student who had to type a certain amount of words before the report could be considered finished. He almost wrote an entire short story in that thing, starting with describing how I was acting when I first showed up. Forrest walks into the room, his eyes dark and weighed down by the burden of living as a broke college student in 2015. Dad was there too. His dad regretted ever showing his son Star Wars, a decision that haunts him to this day. Okay, the report didn't really say that last half, but it's a good way of explaining how stretched out this Bible was. The parts about digging into my psychology was what I was most interested in. It went a little something like this. As Forrest falls ever so deeper and deeper into the darkest depths of hellish despair, there is King Ghidorah there waiting for him, its 3 heads representing the 3 things he feared most: autism, depression, and anxiety. Want to hear what my wife's report said? Sweet child, you have autism. The end. I can't speak for how diagnosis reports have evolved over the years or whether or not they're made different because of the age of the person. I also want to emphasize that I'm not bitter towards the doctor who diagnosed me, the complete opposite actually. I've always been grateful for it. That's just not how I felt about it when I first got it. I panicked, so here's some advice when you get yours. Don't panic. No matter what your report says, see it as an opportunity to understand yourself better and get to know where you can work on certain areas of your life to improve its quality. Nothing happens to you when you get your diagnosis report. The effect it has on your life is exclusively your decision. When I think of the diagnosis report and how it dug into my past to come to some understanding about me, I think of a line from the web series Red vs. Blue. I thought of the same line once I started to come around on the report and what to do moving forward. Your past doesn't define who you are, it just gives you the starting point for who you're going to be. So my question to you today is, when are you going to hop on that starting point? Thank you for watching and listening to the Pancake King Life and Marriage on the Spectrum. If you enjoy this and want more like it, slap that like button below and leave a comment sharing your own story about getting diagnosed in whatever way you're comfortable with. Subscribe to the channel and visit my Substack at thepancakeking.substack.com. See you next time.